All right. So that takes us out of the brute majestics. And we start to get into the Guardian class. First up is that big, Nate. It is a red 4 cost, attacks for 8, blocks for
Yep.
3. It is a Betsy specialization.
Big
It's
Daddy.
yeah, it says when this attacks a hero, you may wager a gold, might, and vigor token with them.
All right.
Uh this card slaps.
It. I don't even want to put it in slaps tier because
Yeah,
it's a spec, but like if you're playing Betsy, this
this
is the reason you
yeah,
Betsy.
yeah,
Like,
this is
there's
like
no other reason to Betsy.
yeah.
Like, imagine doing like your little what is the good time hat? Good
Yeah.
time
Oh yeah,
hat.
shampoo something
Shampoo.
shampoo or whatever.
Yep. Good time shampoo. And like you do good time shampoo, you do this, and you do like double down on top of it. Is like that's the reason to play Betty. There's no other reason to play Betty.
Mhm.
Um, Hard slaps.
Yeah. I think
It's a
it's
little
slap
risky.
I think you're right. I think it is a slapper. But the spec kind of hurts it a bit, but it's like a 3 of in her deck and it's like
Mm,
amazing. You like this is the card that you make sure that you win this wager. Like I saw
yeah,
it a little bit this weekend and it just like the hands weren't lining up for the players that were playing it and it like came in for 9 and there was a bunch of like tech to like block it out, block cards and stuff and I'm like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." But like in CC you have ways to like get
yeah.
this thing
You got to make this thing like a
cranking.
14.
Yeah, you're aiming for 13 plus here,
Yeah.
which I
And if
think
you
she can
do
do.
though, it's incredibly hard to block out. And like the value you get off of this card is it's nuts. And that like I I really like I think like the Guardians in this set are a little underdeveloped.
Mm,
But I like the way that they're taking it. It's not just like your opponent doesn't get to play the game. You just get really dumb numbers.
yeah, yeah,
Um, like in that it kind of leads into like the next card we're going to talk about, which
hmm
is that Prime to Fight?
yeah, dude. Prime to fight.
Prime to Fight.
Ooh,
Um, which is if you control a Vigor token, this costs one less to play. And if you control a Might token, it gets +1. So if you also control those tokens, you also get a free dollar and a
yeah.
+1.
So it
So this
costs
base
5 and it attacks for 9 and it's a block 3.
is block 3. So basically, this could be if you control both, this is a 2-card 11. What?
Oh boy,
What?
what? That
Like,
makes that breaks the math of the game a bit, Nate. Don't you think?
it's yeah, it's this card's nuts. Um,
Yeah, this card
it
is. When I
I
did the math you just did when it was spoiled, I was like, wait a second.
two
There's
card
some
11.
yeah, there's some hidden like there's some
We like that.
hidden stuff in there trying, you have to have the vigor token, right?
Yeah,
There's some hidden, it's not like natural 2 card 11, but I mean, this is what you're doing, right? You're
yeah.
making vigor tokens, you're making might tokens, so um
The thing
yeah.
is, like, especially like Betsy and Good Time Shampoo, like, what does Big Time or Good Time Shampoo create? A might and a vigor token. So this is actually like it is very easy to set up in Betsy. You just kind of set it in Arsenal until you have like a good bet to make.
Yeah.
Or maybe like an innocuous bet where it's like, okay, like maybe it's on hammer and it's just like, my hand's good enough. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, great. I'm gonna block 9 and 2 card 11 you. Um, I think this falls into like okay, I see you because it does take a little bit of setup and it doesn't do anything like inherently broken, but good numbers on cards. I just don't see Victor or Bravo wanting to run this card, so I think it just kind of like limits it, but it's still just like it's a really solid majestic.
Yeah. It's yeah, 5 for 9, right? It's pretty solid. I agree with you. It can be an okay, I see you. I think it's
Yeah,
a solid card. Um, if there's vigor and might tokens floating around, it's amazing. So
yeah, yeah.
next one up is the Golden Sun. It's a yellow 4 cost Victor spec. As an additional cost to play this, you may destroy a gold you control. If you do, this gets +3 in overpower. When you clash, revealing this, create a gold token, and it is a 7 attack, and it blocks for 3, of course. Yeah. So it can be a 10 overpower if you destroy a gold, which Victor's
Yes.
going to have. Like that's
If you
his,
have
that,
Yeah, and if you have a vigor or a tunic trigger, like a 2-card 10 with overpower.
yeah. The fun thing, another fun interaction with this Nate is when you clash with Victor, you
You
create
draw
a
this
gold
card.
token, and the first time you create a gold token, you draw it.
Yeah, so basically most turns when you clash with this, you draw it. It's
Yep.
nuts.
Seems good.
It this card is I don't know, like, if Victor was better, this might be the most push card LSS has ever printed. I'm not even joking. Imagine a Codex of
Yeah.
Frailty, but anytime you see it on the top of your deck, you draw it. Like,
Yeah.
what? Who does that?
Yeah.
Um,
It's pretty nuts. It's also, I mean, the like the least powerful thing about the card, like I don't know, it's like there's so many good things about this, and then it pitches yellow too, and it's like really,
yeah,
like this is crazy. Pitch
yeah,
yellow, like
yeah,
we've talked enough about Starstruck and how much that matters on that card, and just like having this yellow is a nice little just boon on top of everything else. It's insane.
yeah.
I think
Um,
this slaps. I mean, if we're gonna say big bet slaps, I think this slaps just as hard.
I
I mean, I think it's fair because yeah,
Yeah, it does slap. It slaps. All
yeah,
right,
it
ship it.
slaps.
I don't like it. I don't like putting specs into the
I don't
slap
either,
slot,
but
but like those two cards just have so much value written on that card. It is kind of nuts.
yeah. So now we're getting into very interesting ones. When I was reviewing before we went live, these kind of made me think a bit. So next one up is Boast. It is a Guardian block card. It pitches blue, and it says this gets +X defense while defending, where X is twice the number of clashes you've won this turn.
Yeah.
Um, so
If
if you clash once, it's a 5 block. I think that's good. Um, well,
Yes,
I
I heard one card blocking 5 points of damage is good. Yes, yes, yes.
dude, I'm just so leery of block cards still. Like in my head, I was like, wait, 5 block, that's awesome. But then I'm like, oh, block card.
Imagine if you win 2 clashes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
How many
it's
times you clashing though? That's the thing, is I haven't wrapped my head around that yet. I don't think you're clashing more than once, right? In a Guardian.
All right, 1 second. Let me. So I played. So
Wow,
next.
Static came in hot and said this is Slate tier. It's definitely
Oh
not
my
Slate
gosh,
tier.
I don't. Okay, it is confirmed. Cole has done some mushrooms tonight, and he's never going to recover from it. All right, so next week we're gonna be streaming some Club Daddy Reinar, but then after that we're gonna probably stream some of this Victor guy. So I played 2 games with Victor last night. Boast blocked for 5 3 times and 7 once.
Oh wow. Okay, so this goes into okay, I see you then. So you told me
I
that.
would the floor of this card is a blue block 3. The upside of this card is a block 7. I fail to see how this card is lower than slaps. It it is very situational. And Guardian needs to you have to play the Millhammer. So maybe it is okay, I see you. But this card
Dude, chat's hating it right now, dude.
is nuts. Painfully mid, Zach. Oh,
Oof.
okay. You guys, okay. So, oh man, I'm trying to think of like it is not mid as hell.
If it blocks for 5, it is definitely okay, I see you. I agree
I
with that.
I'm telling you, This
which is
card
only one
is
clash. This is what you're
nuts.
doing with Victor. So
It's one clash, and you're probably winning because Victor also can basically stack the deck in his favor. Like, um, this is a card that reads poorly, but every time you play it, you realize the power of it.
mm,
So yes, like agreed. But um, if you aren't playing the cards like Boast, there's no reason to be playing Victor.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's true.
oh my gosh, Cole, you're actually high. It's better than adorable. Um, but like you're 100% running Test of Strength, and you can run. I think you run the Clash Shield. I think the Gold Shield is actually a trap. I think the Clash Shield is a
Yeah.
lot better because the Clash Shield auto turns this on the first 2 times you see it.
That's a good point. That shield definitely helps this card out a lot.
Yes. It in Victor does suffer from um like a big number meta. I think Victor into an aggro meta is absolutely insane because he has some if he can routinely win his clashes, he has insane value on cards. And
Mhm.
Boast is one of them, and we're probably about to talk about the next one.
Yep. I don't know why these got out of order, but the next Majestic that we have, another Guardian block card. This one pitches for red, Trounce. This one says, when this defends, clash with the attacking hero, put the revealed cards on the bottom of the owner's deck, then clash again. If a hero wins both clashes, they create a gold, might, and vigor token. Dude, this man, if you win both those clashes, holy smokes.
You win both those clashes and you still have a Boast in hand.
Yeah. Oh,
What you
that's
gonna
true.
do?
Yeah.
Like you
But
think about
also, what are you left doing though? That's the problem.
you don't need to be left doing anything. You got a vigor and a might token and gold for your clashes in the future.
I hate that this is
Um,
red.
the red is the thing I think that hurts this card the most.
I think it's
It
mid.
I think this card's adorable, unfortunately.
Mm,
Um,
I can concede to that point.
um, it's like this is going to be one of those like very like meta dependent cards. But if you're playing in like let's say it's like Bolt and Katsu, Fi, like a really like low to the ground aggro meta, um, Trounce is very good in those situations. Funny enough, if you give Katsu a vigor token, it actually really screws him. So even if he wins both of these, it's very bad for Katsu to ever get a vigor token because then he can't lead Kadachis because they don't have go
That's
again.
so cute. It just
So
screws him over.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh man, what do I spend
yeah.
this money
Can
on?
I decline the vigor token, please?
Yeah.
No, you may not. You won
Uh,
this. It is yours now.
it is yours now. That's
Yep.
funny.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, there's some neat stuff here, right? Creating the gold draws you a card with Victor. So, I mean, I think it's a very it's
It's
props to LSS for this card. I guess is what I'll say is because I think it's a very cool block card, and they're like pushing the design limits of block cards, right?
yes.
Because it's like you can't arsenal these cards, so they need to make sure that the texts are good on them, right?
Mhm.
So this feels more like a well, it's a majestic first of all, so that's but it's nice to see a progression in design from the block cards that we got in bright lights just being a
Yeah. Sorry,
uh
Cole's
draft
being
card.
ridiculous in the chat.
What do you say?
Um, he said if he's playing a fatigue deck, he doesn't care about might or vigor tokens. He just puts it in slay tier.
Oh my
He's a
god.
dude.
This
He
guy
definitely
is
had one too many
savage.
edibles.
This guy is savage. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the Guardian cards.